What's up, guys? Breeding horses can be an absolute headache if you do not know the system. That's why I'm starting this series to show you how to filter horses correctly and how you can have more control over the RNG breeding. A lot of new breeders get excited when they see a high quality trait or a high attribute or even high quality horses like Mythic, which is okay, but if you breed horses randomly, you'll end up with 9 times out of 10 terrible horses and a bad lineage, and this can damage your chance at a good horse in the future, and this can all be avoidable.
Instead, guys, this is what you want to be seeing. Even if the base level is slightly lower, if the rarity isn't as good, if obviously the trait isn't that great, guys, that's completely fine, as long as you obviously follow this guide and go for armor and go for might.
But why is Warbred so important? The Warbred temperament has a higher chance of obtaining might damage traits through mutation, and this is vital for any warrior marches. For instance, like Lubu, like Cyrus, like Miyamoto, Yodick, King Arthur, etc., etc. Now that we've established that, let's dive straight into the breeding. First things first, as we are breeding only Warbred horses in today's video, we will be using the filter option and clicking only Warbred horses. Now that we have our horses filtered to only Warbred, let's talk about what we should look for when picking the horses to breed.
So our first look is at the might. We have to set this up so there's absolutely zero RNG here and it's sitting at 100% chance. But if you look at the one below it, that's where it'll be a 50-50 split between armor or siege. But what we are after is hopefully the armor, but if we do get siege, that's not a problem. We can correct that later in future videos. I don't know about you, but I personally think it's so much better to like spend an hour or so like breeding the correct horses and looking for the correct parents than trying to spend a week trying to fix a messed up horse. For example, the Mythic I showed earlier. That one is going to take absolutely ages to obviously fix, or is what I consider dead weight. There's no fixing it and it's got gathering, so just slap it onto the farmer march and be done with it.
Filtering out the 100% RNG attributes. So what do I mean by this? As you can see on screen, you can see all the 4 icons of might, strategy, armor, and siege. All of these have 25% chance to be random once you breed. Okay guys, so the best outcome you are hoping to get is the armor and the might. The mediocre outcome you can settle for is either armor and siege or might and siege. This is because armor and siege can be corrected, shown later in the video. Siege is great too for all size players who can't be game changing in the field like a Kraken or a Whale for instance, but they can also play their part by doing large siege damage to obviously buildings like Imperial Gate and City, so siege is not a bad trait to have. Last but not least, strategy and siege. This mix of attributes aren't optimal for warrior might marches, so we can leave them for obviously making other non-warrior lineups.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, after spending some time filtering through the horses, it's finally time to chase the best possible horse you can get, doing it the correct way. When breeding the correct way, please bear in mind that RNG will still take effect in terms of temperament and trait quality. By filtering this way, you ensure that every horse you will breed will carry over that armor and the might attribute. In this example, you can see that not only did the horse become purple, it also carried over the might and armor attribute and ensured that we obtained a might trait. Breeding like this is the best method to obtain great feeder horses that can either chase double traits or chase the higher rarity like legendary or mythic, meanwhile keeping an impeccable lineage. How to correct mediocre attributes. Okay guys, when it comes to correcting the attributes, it's very important you breed with the vision of obtaining Might Armor or Might Siege after several attempts. On screen we are breeding Might Siege with Siege Armor, aiming for the result to be Siege Might. Once we obtain Might Siege, we can then breed the horse with the horse that has Might Armor. Doing this then makes Might the 100% attribute and Armor Siege the 50-50, eliminating the useless attribute through process of elimination. If this is a topic you would like me to dive more into, then please go ahead and let me know, as this series is only just beginning.